Greetings. Join us. Hopefully I spelled all this right in the title. So the cats are here. Gotta see if I can get Priscilla and Fritzy. Fritzy's about to fall off. She is knocked out. So usually they sleep by the window. So it's funny. I finally got them together. So, all right. Yeah, she's about to fall off that thing. Funny. All right. So I just heard about this, about Hexagon and Antarctica. Some kind of strange structure there. I guess they do mind control and things like that there, and some other whatever it might be. So I'm big surprised there. Surprised I don't have the CNN's headquarters there. They probably do, actually, when you think about it. There's definitely some CIA energy there. No surprise there. Obviously, there's some industrial espionage going on there at the same time, of course. I'm not sure if it's exactly that place, but probably that spot. It's hard to say if it's exactly there, but I wouldn't be surprised. There was something. Oh, that's right. Because a lot of even Los Alamos, not that I've been there, but they have you only have a certain clearance for a certain level of it, and you don't know what they're doing. It's like they have like a Zeta grade in some other room where they're doing surgery on or something like that. You'll never know that. That sounds a little bit out there, but is it? But yeah, we come to, but yeah, Antarctica mind control, and obviously there's a lot more to that DNA manipulation and everything the Nazi party is doing, always still doing. I can see some CNN clones there, but good luck on proving that. Of course, then the CEOs, apparently there's been a lot of executives stepping down ever since this whole trial with the Epstein situation. There's been a major exodus. So just not just CEOs, but there's just a bunch of high profile people. So we do the best we can to connect to that, but obviously there's a lot of once again CIA energy there. So, and other things, the Matrix people, it's similar to the holographic people, but basically some of us have to take in some of that programming or normalcy to actually function in reality, you're really good at school or whatever it might be, so you can function in this society. So you take on some of the Matrix people's DNA, or you can just be completely rebellious and just live in poverty. So, but we should have your individuality. So, I believe all of us to a certain degree have to have some kind of programming for this, but some do go all the way, obviously. Those are the people that are just holographic people, whatever you want to call it, background people, just completely sucked into the system, which is another reason why I have Saturn in the title too, because it's Saturn manipulation in there to some degree. Obviously, you can go on and on with that. So it's a little bit of everything, but yeah, it's just a long road there. Let's see, anything else here? So they're still sleeping. So funny. There's another thing about unlocking the mind. I don't know if I mentioned this here, but it's basically, I'll mention this in the future too, if I remember. For us to come into our own energy, our own power, it's basically allowing, obviously society has a certain way of, we have to go by certain guidelines, what's normal. Basically the Matrix people guideline. This is normal. At least a checklist of normalcy. and that could be a bunch of things without going into details. So if you just free to connect to yourself, like the inner hippie, you just be yourself, not worry about any of that. Don't care about what you say in front of people. Just allow yourself to be yourself, whatever that might be. And that's what they don't want you to do here, obviously. They want you to just be a mind controlled robot. But as more people become, like galactic hippies or whatever you want to call it, spiritual hippies, whatever, that's, it's unplugging from the matrix is basically not giving a shit, you can say. But there's more to it than that. It just really just letting go of the system altogether. Easier said than done. We still have to function here. Obviously, that's why they have the money system, to keep us programmed, to keep us in line. So if you want to be yourself, try again. You can do that, but you can also be a homeless person at the same time. So yeah, it's a lot of trickery here, as you can see, but we are going to more of a time where we can, I don't know when this is going to happen. So anyway, the Hexagon Antarctica, so just to connect to Antarctica, remote view it the best I can. I'll probably do more of a remote view tomorrow, but this is a good remote view. Yeah, you can do some of that and think about Antarctica is usually not on I think what the Falklands is around there. I don't think there's anything there technically, but technically there is. Maybe it's down below, underwater. Yeah, Falkland Islands. I think I'm calling it Falkland Island, whatever they call it. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, okay. For a slight update, Times.com, price sessions. The scheduler. Shop here on the 20th for some people. Same situation here. We have a shop here also. It's slowly evolving. Yeah. What is this webinar? Sign up, social network, behind the scenes. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, not done yet. Yeah. So it's like a hexagon. It's kind of like a hexagon. I don't know. Kind of, sort of, close enough. It does look like a structure of some kind, but of course you can channel anything. I can channel a candy bar, so there's aliens on that thing. So, but yeah, it's definitely. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, that's about it. But yeah, that's the hexagon. Definitely there's a lot of structures there for sure, but I do my best to connect to it. Also, Google has a quantum computer. Looks pretty. It's basically quantum computing is like almost like an organic material. Basically, like the computer is becoming a living thing. That's quantum computing. We can compute these things faster than anything. So that's the future. Eventually, phones will have it. We have a long ways for that, but that's when technology really gets to the next level. That was kind of weird. It almost looks like an octopus or something like that. It's just like a squid. Anyway, that's a really expensive calculator, you can say. It does like all these calculations. It'll take you 10,000 years to do it. At least that's what they say. And it does it in like a couple of minutes, something like that. I'm not sure what they're calculating. Just take their word for it. It is Google. It's all good. There's just a CIA front. Everything's good there. Okay, so I can do a little bit of a kind of the remote view of Antarctica. Obviously, there's a lot of CIA. Speaking of CIA fronts, that's Antarctica. Definitely a genetic engineering underground somewhere in the ice. You're not gonna like this. I see babies. That's not good. Yeah, like they're growing children, mind controlled children. Now, obviously there's no way to prove anything. But I do feel like there's some celebrity energy, like future celebrities. Well, what I get from there is like they grow children, or they whatever they DNA their kids, whatever they do, or I don't know the words for it, but either way, they homegrown their kids, but then they give them off to parents or foster parents. I mean, how hard is it to really switch this stuff out, especially at you know, at people have kids, and how hard is it really to switch? Oh, here's your baby. Oh, here's really your baby. I believe they do that sometimes when they switch out kids, which is kind of screwed up. But it feels like, yeah, some of these kids that are being grown are put in orphanages. Um, it's just kind of creepy when I think about it. Yeah, something out of a sci-fi movie, basically. And good luck on proving it. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. It's if there's anything sci-fi, it's in Antarctica. We would not believe what the hell they're doing there. That's good. That's good to hear. It makes you want to move out there. Of course, I connected to an Air Force base out there. I wasn't really getting a whole lot, but this is I'm kind of just doing more of a broader Antarctica connection there. Yeah, I do feel like a super soldier is coming, some kind of super person being developed there. Yeah, definitely. Once again, underground. I'm not sure where that's going. Of course, you hear other stories about it. Like the secret space program, my like liftoff places, that can be anywhere. It could be out in the middle of a desert, in Africa. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. They're not that's a little bit kind of hidden. Greenland is a good spot for a takeoff. So there goes to Greenland. If Antarctica, that's a good place, but Greenland, what the hell are they doing over there? Watching the grass grow. Obviously, there's fishing and all that, but that's pretty remote. So anyway, but like the SSP, I believe they can take off anywhere. The desert, Nevada, anywhere where there's nobody. At least if they have to do it on the physical level of it. Of course, you can take that to whole sci-fi land. Once again, it's hard to prove any of that. No. Lovely. Okay. Anything else in Antarctica? Obviously, there's a lot more. What the fuck? But Antarctica, I feel Hillary Clinton's energy there. She's on my number one list of sending out to Christmas presents. Yeah, or running away from, whatever comes first. That's just pretty terrifying. Yeah, Hillary Clinton. I don't know what's going on with that. I just feel her energies in Antarctica. I guess. I guess she's kind of. I guess the public version of Hillary Clinton is like a hipster. At least an older version of it, but so fucking pathetic. Anyway, yeah, it does feel like what they do in Antarctica. There is a lot of mind, brain, like clearing out memories of what's going on there. So there's Russia's energy, of course, that's there. Some Africa, but that's not very clear what that's about. Yeah, Russia definitely, obviously. Not really saying what they're doing though. All right. Okay. Who knows? Sometimes better you don't know. Sometimes the less you know, the better. Okay, are we doing Antarctica, the CEO stuff, Matrix people, and Saturn? Okay, looks like somebody's getting up. She'll go back to bed probably. Okay, all right. Blessings. Yep, there she goes. Oh, jeez, that's great. Full frontal nudity. Okay, all right. Blessings. Greetings. We are the Archon energies of Antarctica. The Archon grid is very much in your Arctic Circle. It is, yes, a place where memories are lost. Much of your amnesia is done with technologies. It's like putting a TV in your mind and programming the thought programs. Not with everyone. Many of you do reject it, but those that don't. And yes, of course, there's an army of people that are designed here to go by the system. So as you become more multidimensional, more galactic, you will see there is an alien army here, and they are incarnated here as people. Yes, they're not walking around with guns or anything like that. They're part of your society, controlling it. Yes, telling you need to get therapy, and you need to, go by what the government says, and on and on. There is a galactic war right in front of you, as you can see, and many of you are waking up beyond your wildest dreams of seeing how cybernetic this reality is. It is organic and cybernetic. It is not just one. Some might see more of the cyber energies, the artificial intelligence, but you can't just have one without the other if you want to control a world like this. You need both. Some might feel the AI connections, well, because many of them have been plugged into in the past. It's easier to detect. But the organic is more difficult. It's hidden. We're not going to go into details of how hidden it truly is. It does go into the mind, and once again, putting programs into the mind. There's databases of thought programs. It's like hacking into a person and literally downloading a personality into them. Basically, like they feel sick, and then all of a sudden they're a different person the next day. It does happen, but it's so subtle. It's like the person is slowly changing. It's like people change. You've heard that before. People change. It's not the same person anymore. But what person is there now? So yes, some of your walk-ins are done by design. Some are done, in a healthy way, but many are not. Many are just a hijacking. So this facility in Antarctica is one of many facilities, basically, to brainwash society. You can always take it for whatever you want. You don't really care. But some of you will get visions of Antarctica. Maybe, yes, a Nazi vision. Basically, even during your 1920s. It's going to be confusing because a lot of beings don't want you to know what's going on. Obviously, some of you are going to see the bigger picture, but we're not here to give you that, of course. Greetings to you. Well, there are trends. Greetings to your society. Greetings to your, yes, a world trying to figure itself out. At least some of you are. The CEOs that have been moving around your reality, yes. Well, you can say they've been deprogrammed, decommissioned. You don't need them anymore. They solved, or they've done their mission. They've solved their problems, their mission problems. They've done what they're here to do. So they get kicked out, exempted from crimes against humanity. The CEO of Twitter, I believe, was let go due to lack of laziness from his side. Obviously, there's more to it than that, but with the Epstein energies, obviously, they're not going to go into detail because that is areas that we can access it, but we're not allowed to talk about it. But yes, the whole Epstein situation is it's a ritual. It's like you seeing the fall guy. She was set up to be the fall guy from the very beginning. There's a much deeper seed there. There's a lot of elitist energy. You can say it's a way of the elite exposing themselves in a certain way. But notice they're using a female to expose themselves and not the male. Most likely the female, we do see her getting off on all this. Obviously, publicly, it might be some kind of something public, but behind the scenes, we figure she will do just fine, at least from what we see. So the public version and the hidden version are two different things. Yes, with the Matrix people, yes, the Matrix people that have been downloaded into your reality. Yes, that's going to be kind of complicated for some to digest, accept. Many of you have parents that are Matrix people that are basically ingrained to the system. They agreed upon it. Now you have your holographic people and all that, but these Matrix people have been programmed into your society to run it. It's the engine of your reality. As you go more galactic, yes, you see more behind the scenes. How much do you want to see? It can be it can really throw you off this reality. The more that you see, it's like, am I even on this planet anymore? Some of you see it, but you still have a mission here. But some of you can really disconnect and that will most likely happen. It's like you have a wake-up call and then you have another wake-up call. Because you're going to see how the program is really done through humans. How, yes, they get up, they go get their chicken, they go get their job, they go family, and they do the circle and all of these things. And it's difficult so why many of you come here to be a realization of this is to disconnect others from it. Obviously, many are not going to, and of course, those that are in the system are not likely to open up. When you are part of a caged reality, they are the cage. They're not going to let go anytime soon. Now, most likely they'll dismiss any of your allegations that they are part of the system. They are not necessarily part of the problem. You can say that if you want. But it's like they're grown into the system itself. And many of you that are outsiders or conspiracy theorists, whatever you want to call yourselves, yes, you're just basically like galactic detectives dissecting, analyzing, breaking free of the reality. And how many of you really are here? Now, we can't always go into details, but yes, there are many of you, but there might not be as many as you think. As once again, some of you are having difficulties finding others like yourself. Why is that? Maybe because there's not that many of you to begin with. There's more of them than there are of you. So there are people here that are they're like you, but not awakened, part of this system. It's just easier. They just think that's the way it should be. So there are people here that are real, but they can awaken to this. They might hear what you're saying, but they can't grasp it. But then there's others that are totally in the system altogether. They are the system, basically. If you go against their program, it's like you're going against the creature that created all of this. As it gets more and more bizarre as you go forward. Some of it is in the Gnostic text, not all of it. There are little details here and there. Some of it in the Gnostic text is there to gross people out, set you off your trail, but there are hints of how this is all done. Yes, through the androgynous beings. Many of you have been androgynous beings. Many of you had a normal life as androgynous beings. You've seen androgynous beings in your your models. So in your fashion industry. Yes, many of them are men. There are women here. I mean, they are incarnated as a female, but a lot of them have been men in other incarnations. They always wanted to be an attractive girl, and now they are. And some of them kind of regret it. Because there's a whole system there that's been hijacked. So that's it. Greetings to you. We are the consciousness of Saturn. our energies are very connected to your moon. Not all Saturn beings want to be controlling a planet like yours. Saturn is very connected to your population, how it thinks, how it acts, the superficial side of it. Part of Saturn is involved, not all of it. It keeps it. We are similar to archons in a lot of ways. We have structure, and it's for you to break out of that. Obviously, it's not easy. Go about it slowly. Some of you want to crack this case, but you can also crack yourself in the long run and go crazy. Some of you are already feeling that already. But some of you actually get quite ahead of yourself when you might realize that's not a bad thing. But then some do get scared, some get afraid of what they're tapping into. Meaning you are seeing beyond what is here. Some of you actually have seen how this all works, but then you shut it down. A lot of you see it when you're children, especially kids that are scared when they're growing up. They see this whole system, they see it all, and they freak out. Have nightmares about it. Have beings coming through their closets, scaring them half to death because those are the beings that are running your show. So, yeah, as you have this next awakening, or whatever word you want to call it, or just knowing about your society. Yeah, it's basically it's not just reptilian beings, but they're just beings that are just a glimpse away, just hidden away, just a slight veil away from your reality. So as you start to ask questions, which is healthy, you might not have the answers. You might not be able to figure it out because you can't prove it physically. But if you feel on a spiritual level you're onto something, most likely you are. Some might feel it's trickster energy, but realize also when you're tapping into the unknown realms, there is trickster energy there, meaning trickster has created this reality. So it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It's just that you're feeling a massive manipulation. It's like you're feeling the machine that created this reality. And obviously you have many people out there that are just terrified of what's there, so they go back into their comfort zone with spirituality, which is nothing wrong with that, but many aren't ready for this. So some of you are tapping into the hive mind that runs your reality. Little by little, some glimpses here and there. Someone don't even know what we're talking about, which is fine. But there is a hive mind running your world, and it does not have you in their best interest. They run your television networks and everything, Hollywood and all that. It's like they know how your world thinks. Well, that's why many of you came here to go. If you have difficulties with this world, you want nothing to do with the physical reality, the program that's here. Obviously, you know you're on some kind of mission. You know you're a part of some kind of war. So, yeah, that's if you have difficulties here, it's an indication. Yeah, you're not from here, but that's the point. You come here as an alien being to here to unlock the prison gates to let others be free. It's just, yes, it's unseen, but it can't be unseen forever. And you will see those that are very popular and actually really dislikes humanity. Yes, some are in your higher spiritual communities, which is really a shame that they've sold themselves out that way. But you're going to see more of the inner work. It's kind of like a movie. You start seeing behind the scenes, and it gets a little bit trippy. It gets uncomfortable, but once you unveil it, it gets easier and easier to accept or understand, whatever word you want to use. So just continue to, yes, trust your intuition. Even if you don't believe it, or you feel, because a lot of times we don't believe it, doesn't mean it's always wrong. It's so crazy. Your human self's like, that can't be right. But what if it is? You just can't prove it physically. Now you understand how trickster beings work. They don't want you to believe, because this physical reality is so physical, but so programmed. They want you to just Once you find a clue, they want you to dismiss it and move away. But what if you remember that clue to unlock yourself?